Hey YouTube, Emperor Buggy here, back again bringing you another episode of this Let's Play. And what happened was, I haven't uploaded in a while actually, Christmas and such, all that other stuff. But so I recorded and narrated both episode 4 and 5 before I took hiatus. And what happened was, somehow they got fucked up. So I'm gonna have to kind of narrate this. I already did number 5, not realizing number 4 was messed up too, so I'm gonna have to redo these. So, I actually don't remember. Alright, yeah, this is the episode where we get, I think we get Trico. So I'm gonna try and read this as if I was playing it, so bear with me. It might be off key and sound kind of annoying, but I mean, I don't have any saves to replay this. Otherwise, I'd have to restart the game. And I just got an EXP share, which is really good. I can help level up other Pokemon that are weaker in higher areas. And I think I give it to Melodic, which is always good. That thing doesn't learn anything. It's kind of bad. So, while you guys watch this, I think I'll just talk about, Christmas. So, my Christmas sucked a lot, but it it shouldn't suck to me because those things don't really matter. But I don't know. I guess commercialism is really important to me or something. But I didn't get anything for Christmas, unfortunately. But I guess I got dinner. I guess that counts. But everybody else got something, and it sucked ass. But it's alright. Those things shouldn't really matter to me. But it's whatever. My Thanksgiving was good though. Yeah, I don't really have much to say about that. Never mind. That was a stupid topic. But they released Pokebank and the X and Y, which is always good. So, but I think they like called it back or something because I think it was because I don't actually remember. They said something about it being like bad or something because they got hacks would go through like hacked Pokemon. And I don't mean like Pokemon with perfect IVs and perfect EVs, but I mean like a Pokemon that shouldn't exist but isn't really fake necessarily. Like a shiny Torterra with its Dream World ability. That can't happen. So, I mean, that's something. So they called that back. And, yeah. So that's a thing. This red trainer looks so weird. The sprite's alright, but I don't really know what to say about that, to be honest. But yeah, so I couldn't record this over. It would be too much out of sync, like episode 5, and it sounds horrible. So I guess that's not gonna happen. Sorry about that though. But I mean, what else am I supposed to do? But yeah, it's going well so far. I mean, this game's really fun. I haven't played it in like weeks. I don't even know the last time I got an episode in, or rather recorded one. So that would be episode 5, but that fucked up, so that's not gonna happen. Oh well. But yeah. So I have no idea what to talk about right now. This is really weird. This is really weird. I guess I think it was a good idea to start off with Charmeleon in this Let's Play though. It's really useful, especially since there's a lot of grass and bug type early on. There's no real rock types or anything. I think the gym right after this is grass. Yeah, I think it's grass. That's in episode 5. But maybe I shouldn't really spoil that or anything. So let's not talk about episode 5 right now. But what I did find out later after this was I could favorite, well, it evolves into my favorite Pokemon, which is Scizor. You can find a Scyther somewhere around these parts, which is really good, but I didn't know that. And I remember these annoying ass Combees in here. Every time you run next to or into that thing, it just kind of spams one on you. It's good to level up, but it's really annoying. I mean, I hate that stuff. All these bug catchers are super easy. I think they're just there to make you level up. Bugs are like one of the weakest Pokemon ever. I mean, up until maybe Gen 5. Other than that, no, let's see. Till Gen 3, there was only one really good bug type, and that was, no, Gen 2. But it wasn't really that useful, which was Scizor, because it didn't have its stab technician bullet punch at the time, so I couldn't even consider that great. But other than that, there wasn't really much bug types that were good. I think Scizor was the best one. But then when Gen 4 came around and it got bullet punch, it was like one of the most used Pokemon ever. Especially since it could abuse the choice band and go for a swords dance. That's crazy. That's really strong. That's too strong. But it was slow, so I mean, it was still super powerful because of priority, but it was kind of slow. And then in Gen 5, they got Volcarona, and then Quiver Dancing, all over, wait, no, that was Gen 6, wasn't it? No, of course, that was Gen 5. And then there was the Quiver Dancing, Venomoth. We got some better bug types. Moxie, Heracross, that's really good. Oh yeah, Heracross, he was Gen 2 as well, that's a good bug. What else? Pinsir was alright. It's not really like anything special. Let's see. Any other good bug types? I can't remember off the top right now, but there were some good bug types, but not many until Gen 5 that really made them popular. There's Fortress, which can always set up. That's a good bug type. Galvantro is really good because of those compound ice thunders. Had the most accurate thunders in the game outside of rain, of course, because those are 100% in rain. And thunder was a 120 base power stab move, which is really powerful. Really powerful. Now that I think they dropped it to like 110 base power. What else was there? Bug types. Let's see. There was Galvantro, Venomoth, Scizor, Fortress, Heracross. What's that fire moth called again? I think I already said it. Volcarona, one of the most powerful bugs ever. It can sweep through your entire team. Let's see what else is there. Scythe is good because of Gen 5 when it came around. The Eviolite, that thing's amazing on Scythe. It can survive a rock attack, which is crazy, and it gets access to Roost, which is always good. What else is there? There is, what's it called? Wow, I'm sorry guys, I can't really remember. Scorpion wasn't even a bug actually. Well, I mean it's a bug, then it evolves into Dark Poison, which is a great defensive typing. But it's not a bug, so I guess that doesn't count. Can't really recall any great bugs outside of those few. Scollipede's a good bug, but it's not really like OU material. Maybe now, because it got access to speed boost and a speed buff this gen, or rather 6th gen, which is a good thing. So it like outclasses Ninjask almost because of its added bulk and better typing. It's not super effective against rock, though. It's not 4 times weak to rock. It's also stronger and gets access to Rock Slide, Earthquake, Megahorn. And it can do everything Ninjask does. Because most things won't outspeed a Ninjask. even at no, even unless it's like scarfed. But and with its new speed, Scolipede gets 112 speed, I think. So a few things are gonna outspeed that after one speed boost. Actually, yeah, that's essentially a scarf. So not much is gonna outspeed that, which is I don't know how fast that is relative to the OU metagame, because off top I can only think of like 4 Pokemon that outspeed that. Maybe 6. Let's see, Aerodactyls, Sceptile, Starmie, just some stuff, but I mean, yeah, it's really good now. But yeah, I don't think there are too many good bug types. I mean, like, they're the frailest type ever. It's one of my favorite types, but it's really frail, unfortunately. So that's a thing. So, I mean, it doesn't really matter too much though, so it's okay. But outside of that, bug types are fairly solid. Well, they do have Shuckle. No one wants to fuck with Shuckle. That thing has a 230 base defenses. That's crazy, but it has 20 HP, so its bulk sucks. God, Charmeleon's about to die right here. Haha, I made it with 1 HP. That's sick. But yeah, there's Shuckle. What else is there? Why can't I remember? There's the new Mega bugs now, but that's Gen 6. We're not on that discussion right now. Let's see, what else is there? Can't really think of any truly OU bugs that are really powerful. Can't really think of any. But yeah, that's another thing. Bug types generally are kind of frail, but like their last third evolutions, pretty powerful sometimes. In the Scizors and Volcaronas and such. At one time in Gen 5, actually, I remember they banned Scizor to Ubers. Well, Smogon did. Because unless you specifically had a counter on your team, you are not stopping that Scizor from sweeping through your entire team, especially if it's the Swords Dance variant. Which is really bad for anybody. I mean, when something can do that just after one Swords Dance, it's crazy. It's too much. But that's not the worst part. It's not easy to one-hit KO a Scizor unless you have a fire move. It has really good bulk for something like that. Bug Steel, a very defensive typing. It resists off top. It resists. But it's neutral to ground. It's neutral to fighting. It resists psychic. Oh, this is Gen 5 by the way. So it resisted dark and ghost. It resisted. What else? It resisted a lot of stuff. Not only that, it had. I think he had maybe. I don't remember. I think it was 80 or 70-ish special defense. Most people ran max HP, so that was kind of covered there. So you can live 2 to 3 hits from special attackers that are not super effective or specs, which is really powerful. So you can set up, and it had access to Roost, just like its pre-evolution Scyther, which is really powerful. You can just roost off damage, set up a Swords Dance, even if it resists after a +6, nothing's gonna live. So later on, when they brought it back into the OU metagame, even though it didn't do bad in Ubers, it did alright. But when they brought it back because they realized it wasn't that bad or some shit like that, I don't remember. People would start running counters to Scizor. And I don't know, so what they do is, well, what I would do is, even though I use the Scizor, I'd run a Zapdos. And what a Zapdos would do is, it resists its Bullet Punch stab, has great bulk and defense, decent defense, has great bulk, resists both its stabs in Bullet Punch and Bug Bite, U-turn, etc. And here's a Heracross, speaking of which. It had Heat Wave, which would OHKO it under any circumstances, unless it had what's it called? It had a Focus Sash. Even with max special defense, I think it'd still kill, because it's 4 times super effective, and even if you didn't run much special attack EVs on your Zapdos, 125 base special attack is a lot. A lot. People are driving by my house right now. It's annoying. But yeah, it was a really good check. Then there was the Rotom. There was Rotom Wash, which of course resists one of its stabs, can get off a Will-O-Wisp. It won't die. It's tough to take down because of its decent-ish combination of defense and bulk. It only had like 50 HP, ironically, but it has 107 defenses, I believe, so that kind of covers it. And it gets, I don't think they ran Resto Chesto so much at the time. Maybe it was Scarf, but it could get off a Will-O-Wisp, and it could start dropping its HP with Hydro Pump. So it was a pretty good counter, and then you could switch in and just kill it. But then people would run stuff like Heatran, because Heatran, even though it may look slower, it outspeeds Scizor. It's like 77 base speed, and Scizor's 65. And defensive Heatran, you're not gonna OHKO that with a fighting move unless you're boosted or super effective, stab and super effective. So superpower wouldn't kill it. Then you can kill it with a fire move of any kind. I even think Ember will kill it, actually. But what I would do is I would run Zapdos, Scizor, and Politoid. The reason for that was because Scizor can survive a fire move in the rain. Just barely, but it can, most of them at least. Unless its stab ends ineffective. Mainly because he has already special defense. And rain, what rain does, since I don't know what gen, but I think maybe forever, it halves fire damage. So what that does is it makes it only 1 time effective, not 2 times, or rather 2 times, not 4 times effective. So it won't be a guaranteed OHKO, especially if you run some special defense EVs. But yeah, Gen 5 was interesting. Gen 6 now, it's really hyper offensive. I know this is like weird to talk about during you're just watching the Let's Play with horrible narration. Well, rather nothing relating to this much, but it's really hyper offensive. It's not well. That's not true. It's more of like a bulky offense kind of, because people use a lot of Rotoms and a lot of I think Rotom's like the most used Pokemon right now. They use Aegislash, which is also bulky offensive. Conkeldurr, a lot of those bulky offensive types. Then they have, of course, the regular sweeper type, speed, attack, Garchomp, the Genesect, the Charizard Y and X. A lot of really good Pokemon. And the Megas, man. Megas. Mega Kangaskhan rips through your entire team. It's crazy. It's so powerful. But yeah, that's a thing. So, I should really practice stocking up on potions and stuff more, so I don't have to run back to the Pokemon Center every 20 seconds. It's a bad habit. I just don't like spending money, even in real life. I'm like a cheap ass. But yeah, Gen 5 was really interesting. It's kind of different from Gen 6. I mean, like, Gen 6 is out for a couple months now, but even though it's out for a couple months, I can still see it staying essentially the same that it is now. There's not, the OU metagame, essentially for now, has roughly been molded for a good portion of the time, in my opinion. The UUs, the RUs, the LQUs, the whatevers, those all come after that, because the OU metagame is where they break everything down from. Overuse, what you use most. So, that's important. But to talk about this game right here, when I first started it, I was so impressed by these sprites. It looked so legit. What the fuck? That guy just jumped in after a Gyarados. He's crazy. But yeah, it's really impressive. These sprites look so much better than Ruby and Sapphire and Emerald. It's crazy. When, when I first ever started playing Pokemon hacks, I didn't understand how they did it until I learned, but it's really cool how you have the ability to make a game look better under certain mechanics that were already in the game. What that means is Pokemon could have made Emerald, Ruby, and Sapphire even better than they did at the time. But they're trying to work with a certain style, so I guess that they just did it that way. But that's like one of my favorite Pokemon games ever. Games in general, rather, the third generation. So that's not really a big deal to me, but I'm just saying that's something. But yeah, it's an interesting thing to point out. I feel really bad for Kermit this for most of the Let's Play so far. He was getting whooped so much. I feel really bad. I just let him die all the time. He was like a meat shield. He named him meat shield. That's a thing. And I'm hoping to evolve Elekid and Growlithe too, because I love Arcanine and Electabuzz. Well, Arcanine and Electivire. That's a really cool Pokemon. A really good one. But I don't like. Sorry guys. I mean, I know this is weird because you're watching a Let's Play while I'm just talking about random shit. But let's talk about water types. How easy they are. In Generation 1, there's Squirtle, and I remember reading something that said statistically, Squirtle is the easiest starter to use in all of Gen 1. Mainly because it matches up well with the beginning gym leaders. Squirtle resists water types from Starmies and such in the second gym with Misty, and is super effective. I don't remember when it learns Water Gun or whatever bubble against rock types, and rock ground types are 4 times weak to that, so that's a thing. And then what's after that? After Misty is I don't know, but the point is there's a lot of rock types in ground. Well, no, rather a lot of rock types in Gen 1 that makes it super easy. In Gen 2, Totodile makes it super easy as well. Gen 3, Mudkip, very good typing, only weak to grass, has great bulk when it evolves, of course. It's hard, it doesn't die easily. Gets great moves. Gen 4, I'm not so sure about Gen 4 actually. Empoleon, I don't really like Empoleon. I think I like the Pokemon's typing and that they made it off an Emperor Penguin because at the time it came out, I think I was like into Happy Feet. I love that movie. I still watch it sometimes. Happy Feet too. That shit's so real. But yeah, I really like the attempt at the design. I don't like Empoleon as a Pokemon. I just don't. You can hate me all you want, but I hate Empoleon honestly. My favorite 4th gen starter is Infernape. But then in 5th gen, there's what's that otter thing called again? Oshawott, I think that's what it is. That's a thing. It's not really that useful. The most, I mean, it evolves into something with decent attacking stats. Stats alright, but it just kind of threw me off when it evolved to its final form. It looks completely different. Really weird. And then now in 6th gen, they have Froakie, which has an amazing ability. Which is crazy. What it does, it's called Protein, and it changes your attacking move type to your type. That's essentially like Kecleon's ability, but backwards. It's offensive, not defense, which is really interesting. Really, really interesting. So that's a thing. And it has actually, I think it's one of the fastest Pokemon ever. What's really, really annoying is it outspeeds Sceptile by two speed. That's just shameful. Can't believe it. Outspeeds him, but he's a ninja. I guess it's alright. Sceptile's one of my favorite Pokemon, by the way. And yeah, so water types, they're really easy. What's super annoying though is water types only have two resistances. I mean, two super effective Pokemon, electric and grass. And those can be easily covered. With Swampert and such, that only has one weakness. Water types are just cheap. And there's only like two things that resist water. There's grass. What else is there that resists water? Yeah, I think grass is the only thing that resists water. That's crazy. It's too overpowered. Nothing else resists water besides grass. It's super weird. So, I mean, water is such a great... I don't know if I would call it defensive or offensive. I think it's both. Water types are just powerful as shit. Oh, and they get Pokemon like Keldeo and what else is there? Manaphy. That thing's overpowered as hell. They get a lot of good Pokemon. Water types are really stupidly powerful, just because of their resistances and super effectivity. But they're super effective. Rock, ground, fire. I think that's it. Rock, ground, and fire. They're neutral to everything except for grass, I believe. So that's a thing as well. Water types are just, in my opinion, water types are just overpowered. That's it. They're overpowered. I can't say anything more than that. They're overpowered. So yeah, they just suck. I don't even really know what to say about it. Water type has to be my least favorite type. Mainly because of how strong it is. But I mean, there's some Pokemon that are water type that I really like Azumarill. Holy crap, that bunny's so powerful. It's like a water rabbit, actually. I don't even know the difference. And then Diggersby is just like that, but it's up ground. But it got the fairy typing in 6th gen, and fairy typing is so... I like fairy types, honestly. What a lot of people said in the beginning was it might be overpowered since it's immune to dragon, but they said dragon was overpowered too. I didn't really see that. I didn't understand why people said dragon was overpowered. I didn't get it. I honestly didn't understand. Dragon isn't that hard. You can beat dragon with a rock team. Just some rock Pokemon. A Terracon can destroy most dragons. You beat it with ice. Ice is a normal hidden power. Ice beam, all those things. You can beat it with other dragons, of course. Just scarf a dragon, that'll run through most of a dragon team. Unless they happen to outspeed you, but that's why you use a really fast dragon that knows outrage, like a Garchomp, or what else is there? I'm not really sure, but Garchomp's a really good opinion, in my opinion. You can beat them with... Most dragons are weak to rock, so stealth rocks already do shit to them. Unless they're a Flygon or a Garchomp that resists them, or outside of Ubers, there's nothing that really resists rock as a dragon outside of Flygon and the Garchomp, which is also a thing. So they're not bad. And fairies, the only good thing there's like maybe 4 to 5 good Pokemon fairies get. They have Togekiss, or as I call it, Dogekiss. I don't know how to pronounce that name. It's like Doge or something, Doge, but it's a troll. I mean, the power flinch, of course, just a flinch in general. Any move it has, its effect is doubled. So that's crazy. That's just crazy. Then they have, of course, the super powerful Azumarill. The thing's a threat to everything now. There's nothing that really stops it. And it can run belly jump even better because of its new typing. It resists so much, and its bulk and defenses, 80 defenses and 100 bulk, even uninvested. That it's not easy to one hit that thing. Let me see like super effective. It's not easy. And then they have Klefki. That shit's worse than Sablé or Sableye. I don't even know how to pronounce it. That shit's horrible. Para, Swagger, Foul Play, Dual Screens, Spikes. It has it all. It has everything you don't want. Then there is Mega Mawile, which is super powerful. Super duper powerful. It's crazy powerful. So that's a thing. And then there's, what else is there? I said 4 good Pokemon? Maybe it's 3? What else? They have Florges, whatever you want to say. That is a really good Pokemon in my opinion. It's a 150 special defense base stat. That is more than Blissey, but Blissey is such a horrible thing to face because of its 255 HP. Florges has maybe 75 HP, I think, and 150 special defense, and it gets access to Calm Mind. So what I ran on my Florges through Black and White, X and Y, was after EV training, of course. I maxed out its death and HP, and then gave it Calm Mind, Aromatherapy, Wish, and Moonblast. Now, Moonblast doesn't have that much coverage, but it hits everything pretty much outside of Steel, Poison, and Steel, Poison, and what's its third weakness? Fire. Yeah, it's not bad coverage. It's not bad coverage. And it gets Aromatherapy. It can sponge almost any special attack ever. I took a max special attack, Specs, Magnezone, Fast Cannon. That usually hurts everything, and I took that really not so well, but I survived. I couldn't revenge kill it or anything, but I survived, and that's all that matters. No, that's not true. Yeah, that Florges. Then they have Granbull. That's good both. There's Intimidate. Then there's a few good fairy Pokemon. Yeah, there's a few good fairy Pokemon. There is a good time. So, thanks guys. Thanks for watching this episode and listening to me ramble about 6th generation and 5th generation shit that are completely irrelevant to this video. I'm gonna thank you again for sticking around. Even if you didn't watch all this, I'm gonna thank you. I'm just gonna leave you to watch the last minute or 2 of this. Remember, if you have any questions, comment, like, subscribe, do all that jazz. Emperor Buggy, out.